The year is 1862. The promise of a swift war has evaporated, replaced by the grim reality of brother fighting brother across the fractured nation, from the rolling hills of Virginia to the muddy banks of the Mississippi. The dawn breaks not with birdsong, but with the distant, ominous rumble of artillery. This morning, on a field whose name will soon be etched in blood and memory, two great armies stir. They're separated by a mere few hundred yards of Dookies grass, a space that will soon become a valley of death. For the men of the Union, clad in their dark blue wool, it's a nervous breakfast of hardtack and bitter coffee. They check their Springfield rifles, the steel gleaming coldly in the first light. They adjust their cartridge boxers and canteens, the familiar weight a small comfort against the gnawing fear. These are boys from Ohio farms, clerks from Boston, and factory hands from New York City. They write hurried letters home, their pencil strokes a testament to love and a desperate prayer for survival. An officer on horseback, his voice strained but steady, rides along the line. Hold fast, men, for the Union and for the flag. Aim true. Across the field, a similar scene unfolds in shades of butternut and gray. The Confederates, a patchwork army of veterans and fresh-faced recruits, are a study in contrasts. Some wear the regulation gray, others the homespun cloth of their local communities. They clutch their British-made Enfields, their faces etched with a fierce determination. They fight for their homes, for their states, for a way of life they see slipping away. A grizzled sergeant with a thick drawl claps a young private on the shoulder. Keep your head down, son. Wait for the order, and make every shot count for Dixie. The scent of pine smoke and nervous sweat hangs heavy in the air. The morning mist, thick and ghostly, clings to the ground, muffling sound and shrouding the enemy. It's a tense, almost sacred silence, a collective breath held by thousands of men. Then, a single cannon shot shatters the quiet, a thunderous roar that echoes across the valley. It's the signal, the opening act of a terrible play. A second cannon answers, then a third, and soon the air is alive with the whistling shriek of shells. Plumes of black smoke and orange fire erupt along the artillery lines, the ground shuddering with each impact. Through the acrid smoke, the battle lines become visible. Officers shout orders that are barely heard over the din. Forward, men. By the left flank. March. The Union line begins its slow, deliberate advance. Drummers beat a relentless rhythm, a heartbeat for the marching thousands. The stars and stripes and the regimental colors dip and wave above the sea of blue, a beacon in the growing chaos. They step over fallen comrades, their faces set like stone, their bayonets fixed and glinting in the hazy sunlight. The Confederates wait behind their hastily constructed breastworks of logs and earth. Steady, boys. Hold your fire, commands a major, his saber drawn. They watch the blue wave approach, an unstoppable tide of men. The air grows thick with tension, the seconds stretching into an eternity. Wait for it, no. Fire. A single, terrifying volley erupts from the Confederate line. A wall of lead and smoke rips through the Union ranks. Men scream, stumble, and fall. The beautiful, orderly advance shatters into a desperate struggle for survival. The Union line wavers but does not break. They return fire, a ragged but deadly volley of their own. The space between the armies becomes a no-man's land, a storm of lead where the very air seems to hum with death. The smoke is so thick now you can barely see the man next to you. The battlefield is a canvas of chaos, the flash of musketry, the glint of steel, the brilliant red of blood on green grass. Flags become rallying points, symbols of defiance in a world gone mad. A color-bearer is struck down, and another soldier immediately leaps to snatch the flag from the mud before it can touch the ground. The fighting becomes personal, intimate. Regiments crash into one another, the structured lines dissolving into a swirling, brutal melee. The crack of rifles gives way to the savage clang of bayonets, and the heavy thud of musket butts. Men shout, curse, and pray, in a dozen different accents. A farmer from Georgia finds himself face to face with a blacksmith from Pennsylvania. For a fleeting moment, they are not soldiers. but just men, their eyes wide with fear and fury before the fight for survival takes over. Every inch of ground is bought with a life. Amid the horror, there are acts of incredible bravery. Medics and stretcher bearers, armed with nothing but courage, venture into the storm to drag the wounded to safety. A young lieutenant, seeing his company falter, grabs the fallen regimental flag and charges forward, his voice a raw cry, "On me! Rally! On me!" His men, inspired by his courage, surge forward with a renewed yell, pushing the enemy back. On the other side, an old sergeant stands his ground like an oak tree, calmly reloading and firing as the world explodes around him, a bedrock of calm for the younger soldiers. As the sun climbs higher in the sky, the intensity of the battle does not wane. The green field is now a torn and scarred landscape, littered with the grim refuse of war. The air is thick with the smell of gunpowder, sweat, and blood. The initial adrenaline has been burned away, replaced by a grim, bone-deep exhaustion. Yet, they fight on. They fight for the man next to them, for the flag above them, for a cause they believe in with all their heart. They have become something other than farmers and clerks. They have been forged into soldiers in this crucible of fire. The orders come to fall back, to regroup. The lines slowly, grudgingly, pull apart. The firing sputters and fades, replaced by the haunting cries of the wounded scattered across the field. The men retreat to the positions they held at dawn, their ranks thinner, their faces blackened with powder, their eyes hollowed by the things they have seen and done. They look back at the field, now shrouded in a haze of smoke and sorrow. They have survived the morning, but the day is far from over, and the war will rage on. The sun, now high and indifferent, shines down on a landscape forever changed, and on men who will never be the same. Thank you for watching this glimpse into a pivotal moment in history. These were real people, with real fears and profound courage. If you found this portrayal moving, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more historical narratives. Your support helps us continue to tell these important stories. See you next time.